There are a lot of words in the English language. One of them is Praey. Well, Zenimax own that word as far as legally naming stuff goes, and that is not good news for the creators of indie Kickstarter title Praey for the Gods, a game they will now have to rename to Praey for the Gods.
Praey is a first-person AAA action-adventure developed by Arkane Studios and published by Bethesda, inspired by the likes of BioShock and Dishonored. Praey for the Gods is a Shadow of the Colossus-inspired, third-person indie title funded via Kickstarter, developed by No Matter Studios. There's probably very little chance you would ever confuse the two, but Bethesda's owners Zenimax see it differently. Thanks to legal pressure from Zenimax, No Matter Studios have had to change their game's name from P-R-E-Y for the Gods to P-R-A-E-Y for the Gods, to avoid a trademark dispute in court.
We didn't want to do this, but we had to change our game name from Praey for the Gods to Praey for the Gods, said No Matter Studios, who've picked up more than $500,000 in Kickstarter pledges for their game. Thankfully, we get to keep the logo, but we will spell it P-R-A-E-Y for the Gods.
Okay, we're going to go into this in a second, but I just want to make one little note here. This bothers me, okay? Thankfully, we get to keep the logo. It's their logo. They made the logo. That annoys me. We'll get into more of it in a bit. But
I'm looking forward to this rant, Mike. I've been waiting all this time for Mike to rant, and here it might be coming. The studio says it had previously considered naming the game Praey for the Gods, but worried about people struggling with the AE symbol in search engines. We could have thought this, and we did think about it for quite a while, they said. We didn't want to spend our precious Kickstarter funds, nor did we want to have to ask for additional funds to fight this in court.
In Zenimax and Bethesda's defense though, they do have an important reason for doing this. Bethesda marketing boss Pete Hines took to Twitter to explain that they have to take action in such cases to maintain control of the Praey trademark, which it owns. We really didn't have much of a choice, Pete Hines said. If we don't oppose the mark, we risk losing our Praey trademark. We don't really have a choice. Did he mention that? I think he mentioned that. Yeah, so just going back to that.
No, it sounds like he was the one being forced to do something.
We don't have a choice.
Like, we don't have a choice, we have to force someone else to do something.
Yeah. I just want to start with the thing about the logo, because that just bothers me that they've created something, it's theirs, it's their game, but then they're grateful that they get to keep it because they're not, you know, Zenimax says you can have that logo. Well, yes, they can have that f***ing logo. It's their logo. They made it. Anyway, so it's just...
Compose, Mike, compose. Yeah, there's an art to like getting really riled and then composing quickly straight after.
Like a rank amateur here. Zenimax acquired Praey from 2K or 3D Realms or whoever it was who published Praey back in 2006. There's something that they've bought, they've spent money on it, they've acquired this, so it's cost them something, you know. So they're going to be more like protective of it, I guess, rather than if they've created it. And legally speaking, they'll be more, you know, alert to defending it. Praey is also coming out this week, so that's why this kind of thing is kicking up at around this time of year.
And their defense is that if they don't use the trademark for it, then Praey for the Gods might be able to claim the trademark because it's like a use it or lose it type of thing. That is the defense for why they're doing what they're doing, because they might lose their intellectual property like that. And I mean, the reason they have a trademark is so that somebody else can't cash in on the name of their game, so that wrongly think that the Praey for the Gods game is in some way associated with the game Praey, so that they make money off the back of the game Praey. So another thing in the defense before we jump on them, because we know we want to, if Praey comes out with some sort of DLC later down the road, Praey for the Gods might have been interpreted as some sort of DLC or expansion for Praey. And if Praey was later on in the name of Praey for the Gods, like the gods that would pray, you know, if that's some type of name like that, it wouldn't have been so much of an issue, I don't think. Yeah,
it comes up to a lot of things, like if you're browsing through catalogues of games, Praey and Praey for the Gods is going to be right underneath it. There's going to be like a mental link there, maybe that's probably what Zenimax are arguing. And Praey is a word, so it's like, you know, David Attenborough says Praey quite a lot. That's the flip side of it. The little guy in this case, No Matter Studios, they basically powerless. They've just got to be like, okay, thank you for letting us have our trademark, big company, because they're relying on Kickstarter funds. So there's not much they can do to retaliate against this. They just have to go with they're not even contesting it in court. They're just saying, okay.
So No Matter Studios, they're a 3-man team. They kickstarted their project they've got $500,000. So they got a cease and desist letter or whatever from Zenimax saying, pushing the weight around like they've been doing, arseholes. Like, we own this word, don't use this word in your game, else we'll sue the f out of you. And you don't have the money to stand up to that, so you've got no choice. So this is what they've done. They've said, we're not going to fight this, not going to use the funds that we've got to make this game, and, you know, fair play to them. They're putting the money where it needs to be, but f me, do I not want someone else to, like Facebook, to back them or something? Because, you know, there was that, was that court, all that.
Which we'll go into in a second, but yeah.
But they need funding. Like, I wish that somebody had the balls and the, ever see the program Billions?
Yeah.
And like someone like Axelrod to go in there, like, throw the money behind like the little guy,
causing some corporate chaos. But why are you doing this? I don't know, just
because it's fun. Yeah, it would be awesome to see. Probably got a good case. They could probably stand up to them. And because you think about it, Praey. I mean, how many other games are not going to be able to use the word Praey now? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. We did mention this a little bit earlier on as well with the CD Projekt and their Cyberpunk trademark. So they have tried to claim the word Cyberpunk as theirs. They said at the time, oh, don't worry, we're not going to be attacking people who use the Cyberpunk word. People can use it, and as long as it's not confusing with ours, we won't be aggressive. This kind of shows what Zenimax is saying, that, like, you have to, if you've got the trademark, you have to defend it quite aggressively. So maybe CD Projekt are going to have to go after people who use the word Cyberpunk.
What interests me is that how much more people would have pledged for this game from Praey for the Gods since this all came out into the news, because a lot of people have picked this up in the media. You know, gamers like yourselves and me might have seen it and thought, oh, fuck Bethesda. And I've seen a few comments saying, I'm not buying Praey, but I've pledged Praey for the Gods since then. So I'm just interested to see, because of this news cycle, how much they've seen a profit from it, how much is actually worked in their favour. Does that offset the issue of having to change their name? I'm just interested in that. Like, is it? You never know. It might have made them an extra few bucks.
Zenimax are no strangers to mercilessly hunting down anyone using a word that they claim is their own. A few years ago, Zenimax famously went on the offensive against Minecraft developer Mojang over the use of the word scrolls. Mojang tried to file a bunch of trademarks for the word, which Zenimax then argued would confuse with their well-established video game franchise, The Elder Scrolls. After a long and bloody battle, Mojang were allowed to use the scrolls word on their existing game, but they were barred from using it on any games in the future.
There was also the time a couple of years ago when Zenimax forced free mobile game Fortress Fallout to change its name to Fortress Outfall. YouTuber Jordan Maron, who created the game, was given a cease and desist for his iOS and Android game and quickly conceded, "Congratulations Bethesda, you won." Zenimax also won about $300 million from Facebook over the Oculus Rift VR case earlier this year. While Facebook weren't found guilty of stealing trade secrets, as was alleged, they did have to pay out for false designation, or lying about where something came from.
Because they're winning these things all the time. It's like a jock or whatever in high school. He shoved one guy into a locker and he's like,
nobody's standing up to him.
I can shove guys into lockers. And he's just like walking around shoving people into lockers now.
Until somebody slaps them in the face and tells them they can't get away with this bullshit. This is life lessons here from pretty good gaming.
CD Projekt, I reckon, like CD Projekt, like the nerd who can like stand up to the bully kind of thing. I reckon. Come on, CD Projekt. Like Zenimax will want a Cyberpunk game. CD Projekt will be like, no, bitch. Like,
how many words are there in the English language? There's a finite number, okay? Like, 50 years down the line, we're not going to be able to name games anything. Like, we're going to have to like expand the English language just for these like stupid corporations who want to throw the weight around. It's bullshit. These lawmakers or whoever's handing out these like trademark things, just stop it. Just let us name games. I don't know where I'm going. It's just like. Do let us know, guys, down in the comments below if any of you guys have received a cease and desist letter from Bethesda. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new around here, check out more of the content around here, and you can check us out now on Patreon if you're that kind of awesome. We'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.